Yo, this is your boy Mr. G, and we're back, and I'm on the 103. It's the Twin Cam fools, recognize, and I'm trying to tell you something. So, listen, I want to talk to you about this engine. This engine is ridiculous, guys. I mean, when Harley, started naming their engines, it was for a reason. They really do make the engine of their motorcycles the highlight. And, it does have to do with your clutch action and, the transmission as well, and how the interplays there. But they really do go way out of their way, some alliteration there, to put engines in these motorcycles that are just fairly ridiculous with a touch of class. Now, the new engine has, rear cylinder deactivation. It's a little bit more powerful than this. But this is one of the engines in particular of all motorcycles that I have fallen in love with over time, and now I'm a proud owner of one. And here's why. During my demo rides, it took me a lot of demo riding and to uncover what bike I wanted to land on, to get to here. A lot of purchases that I didn't keep. And during my demo rides, there was some footage that I lost of a Twin Cam Harley Davidson Deluxe. Now, at the time, I had never touched a Twin Cam before. That day, I got to ride 4 different bikes with the Twin Cam. Listen to how deep that gets. But at the time, I have never touched one. So, I get on this Deluxe. We start them up. You know how it is at the demos. They got the pipes on them that you're not going to own if you buy one, to make everybody all excited about the bike. And then, later you find out that you're gonna have to pay $2,000 for that little situation. Let's turn her in. So, that was ride-by-wire as well. And if you don't know this, Harley basically, for all their bigger bikes, which is everything except their Sportster, they make one engine and then just put it in everything because the damn thing pulls so stinking hard. So you got to imagine that, like, the 103 pulls this, a 900-pound bike, easily. All right? In fact, let's look at it, all right? Let's look at it for a second. I want to show you the sweet spot on this. It's freaking ridiculous, okay? There's nobody behind me, so listen to the transmission in first gear. All right? So when you're at a complete stop, which there is a person coming, you kind of want to spool her up just a little bit, give her a little touch, and then this engages immediately, all right? Because you got these big flywheels. And look at the tack, all right? So watch what happens. Third gear, 3,000 RPMs, 55 miles per hour. And then you get into this sweet spot. And every gear basically wants you to get there. 2,500 RPMs, and this thing will pull you, your girl, and all your gear all day, and it's just a joke to it. I think I'm in 4th gear. Let's see, 5th. Yeah, 6. I mean, and this is the thing about chugging, right? I don't belong in 6th gear right now, but it's like, no, we got your back, because that big heavy flywheel's turning, right? Proud Mary, keep on. Anyway, so let's go back down to 5th. So this engine in this bike that throws around a 900-pound beast is in this 650-pound Deluxe with no gear on it at all, right? It might even weigh a little bit less than that. And this clutch just, you let it out at all, bam, you go. Immediately, you take off. So in the Twin Cams, right? So I let this thing rip, and there's a bike in front of me, and it takes off and almost throws me, and I'm like, oh dear, what is this beast? And it's the Twin Cam. That was my introduction to it. And I started being respectful to that stinking thing the rest of the demo rides. Like trying to figure out how to goose it just right, because I had scared myself a little there. So look, 6th gear, 65 miles per hour, 2,500 RPMs, right? all day, no matter how much weight you put on it. So can you imagine how hard this thing pulls when it weighs 650 pounds, when it's 250 pounds lighter than this? It's insane. And I gotta tell you guys, it is just a joy. Now, I don't have the radiator anymore. This isn't the rear cylinder deact. This boy gets hot. The tranny cover gets hot. You got to have jeans. You know, I'll go out and ride. Hey there. I'll go out and ride with shorts on. There will be no more of that. Everything like below like your shin and down has the potential to get hot enough to remind you to always have jeans on. The other day, I was getting off of it with my high top sneakers on, and I left a little sneaker on the exhaust pipe. It just burned it up. It was just like, how about you don't do that? You're dumb. So, you know, I thought I would talk about this engine. Basically what Harley does with their engines is build you like a hot rod twin. So it's simple enough that gearheads can just turn it into whatever they want. Now that's slowly changing over time, obviously, with rear cylinder deact and the chip and you have to flash the engine to do upgrades on your exhaust. That's changing over time. But that's kind of the basic idea behind an air-cooled V-twin in the first place, or for that matter, I guess any naturally aspirated engine, really. And I thought I would, you know, just take you guys for a ride and talk about the 103, because I could not be happier to have ended up on a 103. Did you see that? It has a tach that goes to 6, 7, and 8. It is not going to get anywhere near 8. But who needs it? Now, last thing I'm going to talk about before there's your sweet spot, is if you're on one of these heavier bikes and you're demoing them and you're thinking about getting one, I'm going to tell you what I noticed on my maiden voyage home with my new girl. Had my wife on the back. Poor woman was in a dealership for at least 6 hours that day, and we take this hour-long drive home, and I started realizing that I'm going to get myself in trouble on this bike if I'm not careful. What happens is the bike's up a little higher, and the engine is so smooth, and so you kind of feel a little disconnect. You know, the shocks are really, really, really good, and so you kind of feel a little disconnected from the earth if you've been used to smaller bikes, and I have. So, I mean, I'm loving this. 2,000 RPMs, 55 miles per hour. And so what can happen is you just keep going faster because there's so much bike in front of you. You're not getting killed by the wind. In fact, I could imagine on a hot day that you might actually want more wind. And you look down, you're going to flow traffic or whatever. You look down and you're going like 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. 45 miles per hour right now. I'm going 55. I don't feel like I'm speeding at all. You know, I haven't goosed. You know, I'm not go, go, go. I'm not doing that. It's more of like a sexy Lincoln Continental situation. I don't know if that could even be a real thing. So let me know what you think about the twin cam. And if you're one of those guys that's put one together from scratch, you know, hop on here and tell me how it is. Don't let me get away with telling everybody about the twin cam when I'm not an expert on it. I'm just trying to tell people what I like about my engine, right? But I'm not the expert on the twin cam. And there are people out there on my channel that know about this engine. Tell me what you like about it. Tell me what you don't like about it. Man, this thing's so hot. It lit my girlfriend's pants on fire, which was awesome anyway, because she had no pants. I don't know. Just let me know. Your boy G. Like, share, and subscribe. And hit me on the flip side. Peace.